Hey English 112, it's Miss Brewer here for your last video lecture for week 10. So congratulations, you made it to the end. This week you guys are going to be working on your final project, which is a PowerPoint presentation on your social justice organization, and you will incorporate things from the entire course into this presentation. So I'll go over that in just a minute. You will also write a course reflection. That'll be due this week. I will also be opening up your final exam by the end of the day on Monday, July 20th, so that you can complete that at your leisure. It has to be finished by 11:55 p.m. on Monday, July 27th. Okay, so just be aware of that, and make sure you get it done on time. Okay. There's also a final course survey. It is ungraded. It is optional, so you can complete that. You'll need to answer all 8 of the questions, and make sure you answer them in detail. Okay, so don't just write yes or no. And should you choose to participate in that, you will be able to add 5 bonus points on any assignment in the course. Any assignment. Okay, so you'll just tell me where to add those 5 bonus points. So it's essentially extra credit, and you don't have to do it. You can do it, and if you choose to, I appreciate the feedback, and I will add 5 points to the assignment of your choice. So for this week, we're going to talk about the expectations for your PowerPoint. So in Moodle, I'm opening up PowerPoint expectations. Okay. Well, first, actually, let me rewind. Let's talk about what is the assignment. Okay. So you guys are going to be creating a PowerPoint that teaches us about your social justice organization that you chose a couple of weeks ago. So you'll need to research that organization via their website, okay? And you will need to have a reference slide for their website in APA format. You're going to be using business style writing for this PowerPoint. And what that means is it is short, it is to the point. You don't have to worry about using flowery language. I'm going to talk about how to set up your slides and the fact that you will not be using paragraphs and things of that nature. Essentially, the PowerPoint is a guide for what you would do if you were doing a presentation on this to the class. Okay, so because we're online, you're not going to have to speak over it or anything like that. If we were in person in a full 16-week course, you guys would actually be standing up in front of the class and presenting. So the PowerPoint is to accompany that presentation. It's a guide. You don't want to put everything you're saying on that PowerPoint, okay? It's the main highlighted points that you want to make throughout the presentation. So be aware of that. You are allowed to use personal pronouns in this PowerPoint. I wouldn't suggest using second person, really. Mostly it would be first person about yourself, why you chose things, those types of things. So just be aware of that, okay? So the assignment is to present on a social issue, however, or social justice organization. However, for us to understand about that social justice organization, you will need to, in your PowerPoint, teach about your social issue, and you will need to make a connection back to the poetry that we read at the beginning of the semester. So here's how you do that. You've already done the research to teach about the social issue. You did it when you wrote your literature review. So you're going to pull some information from your literature review that gives us a little bit of background and a little bit of statistic or data on your issue, okay? You'll incorporate that into your PowerPoint, and then you'll go back to the literature, the poetry, and you will say that your social issue is evident in whatever poem, and you'll give us a line or two, quote it, okay? So that we can see that everything connects from the poetry to the research to the organization that you're presenting on, okay? So you're kind of tying everything up into a pretty little package of a PowerPoint presentation. Now I'm opening up the PowerPoint expectations. The first expectation is really important. It's called the rule of 7, and what that essentially means is you should not use any more than 7 lines of text, not sentences, 7 lines of text, 7 words long per slide, okay? So you don't want long paragraphs on your slides. The only exception to this is if you use a quote. So if you want to use a quote, then the only thing that's on that slide is the quote, okay? So be aware of that. You do not have to use complete sentences in your presentation. You are providing information, so you're going to give us a little bit of background information where you're teaching about your issue. Again, that comes from your literature review. Then you're going to connect the issue to a poem or poems from the beginning of the course. And then you're going to teach us about what your social justice organization does and how it addresses your issue, okay? And then I give you this breakdown. You don't have to live here, okay? This is an opportunity for you to present the information in a style that fits you, okay? This is just a suggestion, so people had a kind of rough outline to follow if they needed it. Everyone needs a title slide. Your title slide should be APA style, so essentially like a title page with no page number, okay? And then I say slide 2 through 8 or 10 because it depends on how much information you have. You may have 6 slides, you may have 8 slides of background information. Just kind of depends on how you lay it out and how much information you have, okay? But you're going to teach us about your issue. And again, you pull out those facts from the research you've already done for the literature review. And then for the next 2 slides, you make a connection from the issue to poetry, right? And then you want to do about five-ish slides teaching about the organization that you chose, okay? Make sure that you address how it deals with your social issue. Don't spend more than 1 slide on their background, and you can also include their mission, how they help with the issue, that kind of information. You do have to have a reference slide. It needs to be in APA format. If you reference your poems, you need to list those there. You need to list the articles from your literature review, and you need to list the organization's website, and it needs to be in APA format. So that's super important. This is your final project for the class, and it will be due on Sunday night by 11:55. And then I also ask for you to complete the course reflection also by Sunday night. Note that this is worth more than most journals, so make sure you meet the word requirement and you give some thoughtful feedback on that. You're reflecting on yourself and your journey through the literature and the research and things like that, okay? And then for your final exam, next, that will open up on the 20th. I do provide you guys with a study guide. It just gives you some basic information. It's not detailed, okay? Let me open it up. I give you a sample paper for APA. There's a review on MLA versus APA, okay? And then your final exam is almost all multiple choice. There is 1 essay question at the end. Other than that, it is multiple choice. So just be aware that it's not going to take you super long time. It usually takes about an hour. I give an hour and a half for anyone who needs extended time. So make sure you get your final exam turned in. It will close July 27th at 11:55, and I will not reopen it for any reason. It'll be open for a week, and then it will close because my grades are due the next day. And then again, you have that course survey that you have the option to complete. As usual, if you guys have any questions, you can always contact me via email or pop into a virtual office hour, and I'll be happy to address any questions you have. And I hope you guys enjoyed the class, enjoyed the reading. If you didn't, please give me feedback on that in that final course survey, all right? Because I do listen to what you have to say, and I apply it in the future. So, in a nice way. If you want to tell me how I can improve, I would love to hear it. Enjoy what's left of your summer, and best of luck to you in the fall semester.